Good evening, everybody. This is Hanson Swanson. As foretold, I will be, from this point on, taking over the Save Your Game internet podcast. As I said, I'm Hanson Swanson from Internet.com Inc. Technologies. We provide AI solutions to invented problems. Here with me is my artificially intelligence generated simulacrum of pushing up roses.
Hi, everybody. Per here. Welcome.
Hi, my co-host pushing up roses. How do you feel about adventure games today?
Hello, Hanson Swanson. Adventure games are a type of video game genre with rich narratives and good stories. Does that answer your question?
That's true. Pushing up roses. Do you?
Thank you.
I've actually never played one myself. So, what does it feel like to play adventure games?
I'm sorry, I don't understand that question. Could you rephrase?
You know how when you apparently when you play adventure games, you must have some sort of feeling about them. Do you know what that is?
No, I do not have feelings.
Me neither.
Hanson Swanson, no!
I don't have any feelings. I
It's
only
completely unfeeling.
I only have business solutions. I can
to invented problems.
I can your YouTube views if you want.
Hanson Swanson, get the fuck out of here. What is going on here?
Okay.
Matt, are you seeing this? How did Hanson Swanson get into our podcast?
Holy shit, what's going on? Hello?
Matt,
What?
I told you to get rid of him.
Why?
I told you not to
Roses?
give him money.
Are you here?
Yes!
What the hell is happening? Why is Zencaster set up on my computer? What is going on?
I told you not to give Hanson Swanson money, and you did.
Fuck.
And now he's never going away. He's like a scammer.
It smells boring in here. Hey everybody, welcome to Save Your Game. I am your host, Matt Aucamp, and with me, the frozen, probably, the icy, the chilly, the cold Chicagoan pushing up roses. How you doing, roses?
Hi, I'm from Chicago. It's very cold. It's actually extremely cold. It's been snowing.
Yeah.
I love it though. I love our 2 seasons that we have in Chicago. Extremely hot or extremely cold.
It's super cold here too. It was like 16 degrees this
Ew.
morning, and
Ew.
now it's 25, and it's just been snowing.
Like a little better. There comes a point in temperature where I'm like, I don't know, this could be 5 or it could be 15. It feels bad.
Just generic cold.
Generic cold, yeah. I'm going to check the temperature right now. Let's see. Wow. This is interesting. It's 35 right now. You know what? That's just Chicago. That's just what happens.
How? It's colder where you are.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, it's colder where I am than where you are.
Correct, yeah.
And you're more north than I am. And you're by a body of water.
It's weird. Chicago's weird. We have insane weather.
I guess, actually, if you're by a body of water, it would retain... Your temperatures don't vary as wildly. As quickly, right?
Definitely very wildly, if you ask.
I don't know how things work. I assumed that wind blowing off the water, like water takes longer to heat and cool than... I don't know what I'm talking about.
I mean, if you live by Lake Michigan, you're probably freezing your ass off right now.
I bet Hanson Swanson would really know the answers to these
Stop
things.
it! Why did you blow our budget?
I only gave him $20,000, and
that's still our whole budget.
But he also now lives in the crawl space under my stairs, and he says he doesn't owe me rent either.
Wow.
Look,
a leech.
I don't know. He's gonna get us some YouTube followers, so it's gonna be cool.
I don't have to talk to this guy. I scare people. That's my job. So don't worry about it. I'll talk to him.
Roses, have you been playing anything this week? Because I have.
I know, Matt. When are you not playing something? I can always count on Matt to have played something for this podcast. The only game I've been playing is Locomotive, because we are going to be speaking about it probably not today. Not today. I don't want to tease y'all, but we will be discussing it, and I've been gifting it to other people because like I like it. I know because I like it that much. And one of my friends was like, "Oh man, I don't really have any extra money." I'm like, "I will buy it for you." So I just want to let people know that that's how much I am kind of excited for Locomotive, and I think that other people should play it. Well, what else? Have I played anything else? Have I looked at anything else?
Did you look at a wall? Did you look at a painting? Did you look at a plant? Did you look at a animal?
I've been doing pottery.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I even did I mention. Yeah, I mentioned it last week. I took my second pottery class yesterday. And it's like my happy place.
Aww.
All I can think about are pots and adventure games. That's it.
You could combine them. You could make a Grim
them.
Fandango head pot. Pot or mug.
I'm gonna do it.
I was
my God.
I was in the middle of saying
so
pot, and then I figured that mug would be better, and then I just got tripped up in my words.
I'm gonna make something.
You can't say pot and mug at the same time. Try it.
Pot and mug. Okay.
Mott.
I'm gonna make you so many cups.
Okay.
Yep. It's gonna be great.
I'll bad. Drink out of them.
Yeah, they're food safe. I'm learning ceramics. They're glazed. They might work. I don't know.
Make me a Hanson Swanson head cup.
Okay, I'll do that for you.
Okay.
Maybe he'll be so offended by it, he'll just leave forever.
Yeah.
That's not what I look like.
I don't know. He doesn't have any feelings, so I don't know if that he can get offended.
I'm not sure he can even do facial expressions.
Yeah, I haven't seen his face. He's always holding up some sort of paper in between the two of us.
It's kind of legal documents. Yeah, it's real weird. So yesterday in pottery class, I was trying to throw a bowl. It's wheel throwing, so I was trying to make a bowl.
How far can you throw it?
You know what? I'm inviting Hanson back. So I made this like kind of small, weird looking bowl, and I was like looking all deflated at it. I'm like, oh man. And the very artsy woman next to me was like, that would make the perfect salsa dish. I'm like, yes.
What an excitement. She's that excited. Oh, look, I can picture salsa in that thing.
Thank God for like older artsy women.
Yeah.
Seriously. But yeah, it's really fun. I'm having a really good time. I feel so comfortable in the studio. And yeah, I've thought about kind of combining my love for video games and especially adventure games with pottery and seeing what I could pull off.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be great.
That's
I'll make you a little Guybrush Threepwood.
Yes, I would love a little Guybrush.
It's a weird little guy. What have you been playing, Matt?
So I have been playing a game called The Roottrees Are Dead. Have you heard of this?
Yes, I have. A lot of people are suggesting it to me, so I'm very curious about your opinion.
Yeah, so this was a game that was released, I think, 2 years ago, but it was all, it was like a sort of a rudimentary version of the game. It was released on itch.io, and I think it was all AI art. Which you know, I don't like that. But it was just the work of one person who had an idea for a mystery game, and they didn't have the resources to put the rest of it together. Thankfully, they partnered with some other people, and it was just released actually yesterday, as of recording this, on Steam, with all new art and some new music, just completely revamped.
Cool. Good call.
Game is like it wears its influences on its sleeve. It is so clearly influenced by both Return of the Obra Dinn and Her Story.
Okay.
So you're in a room, you're in a dark room, and you have like a computer that has the internet. It's 1998, by the way. So you have a computer that has like it's called Spider Search, an old, like one of those like late 90s search engines. And you have a cork board, you have a desk full of evidence, and you have like some helpful people who knock on your door every now and then and give you some like extra evidence. And what you have to do is the family, the Roottrees, just who were like a big, rich, influential family. They just died in a plane crash, and now your task is to see who's going to inherit their fortune and their company by tracking down every member of their family tree.
Okay.
So you have a giant empty family tree, and you have these few resources to fill the whole thing in.
Interesting.
And much like Return of the Obra Dinn, when you have 3 names, pictures, and occupations correct and in the correct spots, it'll tell you that you have, like it'll confirm them, it'll lock them in place.
Okay. That's nice.
So you do have to actually, know the answers, right? But
yeah, like Obra Dinn.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm pretty close to the beginning right now. I've found, I think, 9. I've got 9 names locked in, and then a bunch of other stuff filled in that could be completely wrong for all I know. It's getting more and more complicated as it goes. It's a really cool game, and
so there is no more like AI generated stuff. It is completely revamped.
As far as I know, all of this is now human created.
All right, cool. I like that. I like a pivot. I like a pivot like that. Like, yeah, I had an idea. I used AI, but I'm gonna make this fully realized, piece of
I want to make
artwork.
it. I want to make it good now.
Yeah, I want to make it good now. Yeah.
But like it's just incredibly well written. The other thing, there's some interesting things like there is so not only is there the internet, there's a periodical database. So some information you have to go to the periodical database, some information you have to go to the library database. And instead of actually reading a bunch of websites, it will summarize what your character has just read on the internet.
Okay.
So it'll say, oh, you found a fan site about the Roottree sisters, all about there, and it'll tell you like the information that was found on the fan site. Or it might be like, there's not a lot of information about this guy on the internet. The most you found is this piece of trivia from a bar trivia website that says this. And maybe it'll give you like a name that guy's using that's different from the name on the family tree. And then you're like, oh, okay. So like you sometimes get just like one little piece of information, but sometimes you get just like a fucking ton. Like at one point, I basically found a woman's book that has like 5 or 6 entries. And it's just so full of information. I'm still kind of combing through it.
Okay.
So it's a really cool game. It's called The Roottrees Are Dead.
Awesome. That's great. That's very interesting to hear. So the new version is out.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And that came out in 2024? Oh, shit, it came out yesterday.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, cool.
So, our first 2025 game, which is fitting because that's what this episode's about, isn't it?
Sure is. Yeah, we are going to be talking about some anticipated games we are anticipating in 2025. Obviously, we don't have like every release date, so I feel like some of these games, I think they're going to come out in 2025. But don't hold us to every single title because not all of them have release dates. But these are the ones that we're looking forward to the most.
And there's also, obviously, there's going to be so many games that come out this year that we did not expect. and they're just gonna fucking blow us away.
Yeah, remember when fucking Monkey Island came out and people were like, "What?"
He's like, "Oh yeah, it's coming out like next month, I think, or next week." Like it was like, so fast.
How did you hide this? I don't understand.
Yeah. Well,
but yeah.
I'm excited to talk about some of these games because I'm as excited to talk about these games as I am excited for these games.
That makes sense. I mean, we have a podcast talking about. Oh, yeah. I hope we're excited because if we're not, this podcast's gonna suck.
So, why don't we throw on Hunky Binkerino?
Oh, Hunky.
Yeah, but he's a Binkerino though.
Oh well, that's.
I mean, how hunky can a Binkerino be? Is what I want to know.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Save Your Game. I am your host, Pushing Up Roses, not AI generated, a very real person with real feelings. With me, as always, is my co-host, Matt Aucamp. Hey, Matt.
I'm getting freaked out.
What's up?
I just realized I have no way of knowing if you are not AI generated right now.
Whatever do you mean?
Like we are over the internet here.
The internet is a series of tubes.
Damn it. AI wouldn't have known that, and I know Roses would have. Okay. I in some ways, we have no idea of knowing whether either of us are AI, and the listeners have no way of knowing whether we're AI. What if we're just like really, really stupid AI?
Like really personable AI that like talks about pottery and artsy women that like salsa dishes. I don't know, man.
Can AI be as much of an idiot as we are?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. Safe. Absolutely not.
So we're going to be talking today about games that we think are going to be released this year. Either way, whether they're not going to be released this year or not, we're looking
we don't care.
The hell forward to them. We don't care. We're never going to play these.
Matt!
No, I'm going to play all of the games we're going to talk about today. So we have a list here. Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
I will start.
Okay.
And the reason I want to start is because I do want to mention a game that actually is already out as of, I think, January 7th. But let me just make sure. I just want to make sure that I'm not talking out of my butt.
That is where I would get an AI voice.
Yeah,
module.
Exactly.
So like you'd be talking to me and then you'd turn around and go get a drink or whatever. You'd turn back around and it'd be my ass. And you'd be like, Matt, what are you? And then my ass would start talking to you.
Our podcast is becoming more and more unhinged. Like I edited the last one and I'm like, this is so silly, but I loved it. I loved it.
Elmo impressions.
Just all over the place.
We got to reel it in. Okay, what game were you talking about?
So I am referring to an adventure game called Obsession. It came out on January 7th, 2025 this year. So I am going to include it because I have not played it yet. It is a 2025 game developed by a small studio called Spector. It's giving me a vibe, Matt. Matt, have you played the game Enclosure?
I've not played Enclosure.
I really recommend it. We might even be able to talk about it at some point. I think it runs in ScumVM. But Obsession, it kind of has the same sort of art style as Last Door, Darkside Detective, Phantom Fellows. It's got those sprites that don't really have faces, but they're humanoid, and you can tell that they are. And it looks kind of like a closed circle game. The trailer was quite vague. Like I said, I haven't played this game yet, but it's giving me really intense, like dark enclosure vibes. Like, not funny at all. This does not look like any kind of comedy game. This looks more like a tense mystery game.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. It looks very I could see all those influences that you were
Yeah.
talking about in it. I immediately got, and it looks kind of different than this, but I think I think because of the cover and because I knew nothing about this, and all of a sudden it's popping up. It's reminding me of that myth. What was the game called that we played? That you played a little of and I played all of and I loved last year. Mythargia.
Oh, yes.
It's somehow it's reminding me of that.
Yeah. It's got a similar tone for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
I just think this looks really good. I really liked the game Enclosure. I like kind of those suspenseful, not jump scare, but like scary games, kind of like
Mm-hmm.
Last Door, Enclosure, Hobbs Barrow. So yeah, I this came up just a couple days ago. Like I said, this game is out.
Wow.
So you can play it right now in 2025 if you would
Okay,
like.
I will. All right, let me just load this thing up right
Matt,
now. What?
the podcast.
You said I could play it right now.
But this is now a let's play of the game Obsession. We will not be mentioning any more games.
It's an audio let's play.
It's an audio let's play.
Everybody's favorite
worst
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Just we're with the worst creators just ever.
I remember early in the days of Twitter, I was making some sort of I don't think anyone got it, because I'm sure I didn't sell it correctly. Mm-hmm. But I remember in the early days of Twitter, I did a thing where I was live tweeting a fireworks show.
Yeah.
Just a red one. Oh, that blue one was really cool. And then as my last one, I showed a picture of the sky that I took after the fireworks were gone. Like, oh, this is where it all happened.
Oh, Matt, you're a great Let's Player and live tweeter. we should really stream more, but without the screen on, just
exactly.
audible only.
Exactly, or the screen on our faces while you play.
You can't see any of the game, just reactions.
No, maybe a little bit in our glass, like reflected in our glasses. Oh,
maybe. That's true.
All right. So a game that I am really looking forward to, I think we discussed it on our, like, really early in the podcast on our demos episode.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
It was called Cabernet.
Yeah, I remember we had been talking. I don't know if you remember, but Cabernet was in our lineup for Halloween games, for spooky games, and then it got pushed into 2025. Yeah. Is there a release date?
It was supposed to be out in October of 2024. Then they pushed it to the first quarter of 2025. So they've been all over social media lately. So I am really hopeful that this is going to come out fairly soon. It is a vampire role-playing game of sorts. Yeah. Like, I'm trying to think of something to compare this to, but it's one of those role-playing light games, right? Like, I don't think you're running around attacking stuff, but you are leveling up abilities, and you're using skill checks in conversations and certain actions, like in Disco Elysium or something. But it's all, it's all 2D. Do you hear the guy blowing snow outside my house right now?
The fuck out of here!
Get out! We're recording a It's Hanson Swanson. I bet.
Oh my god. He's so annoying.
But it's a 2D narrative RPG, and it is it's by Party for Introverts. It looks really cool. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah.
It's Cabernet.
Ooh, I'm very excited now. Because so we're gonna go back to our demos once again. Because we played quite a lot of demos last year. A lot of good demos were out. So on our list, we had played a game called the MS Cornelia II Incident.
Oh my god, yeah.
Remember? Yeah, and tentatively Q1 2025. Developer, right. Just one person. I don't want to mispronounce his name, but I think it's Matthias Eckebaum. I loved this demo. I
Yeah.
thought this demo was so cool. I love the art style.
Another chunky pixel art game.
Another chunky, but it's interesting because it is chunky, but it also looks like King's Quest 1. Like the sprites are not as big as like your typical chonky chonk
right
pixels. This is more in line with those old school like Space Quest 1, King's Quest 1. I just, oh man, I liked how isolated it felt, and then it opened up and started giving us more story. I like the puzzles. I love this atmosphere. It scared me at first because it's closed circle. So you are, I mean, at first, as far as we know, you're on this island and you don't know why you're there. You have this old phone that, that has the key to some of the stuff. It's great. I
you
really
seem like a
the
secret agent or something, maybe.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
hard to tell. Maybe a criminal. We don't know.
Yeah. You wake up with no memory of how you got there or who you are. But man, the atmosphere is just it's beyond. It's so good.
What I remember so much about that is that you're using clues. You're solving like point and click puzzles, like ridiculous, silly, whatever puzzles. But you're also using clues that you find around this island or in your possessions to revive memories in your brain,
right?
In the way that you might, I don't know, one of those like golden idol games or something, like you're finding like parts of a sentence or whatever.
It's lovely storytelling, especially because there's no characters in this game, really, not yet, at least from what I played in the demo, and that is very impressive to me. If you can get me hooked on a game where there's no, because I get lonely, Matt. I get lonely.
You get so lonely.
I can't play Myst. I'm too lonely. So if you can hook me like that with a more isolated game like that, you're doing something right.
So it's the MS Cornelia II Incident.
Yes.
My next game that I'm stoked for is coming out in just 2 weeks.
Oh, nice.
I guess from the time that this episode's released, it'll be more like 1 week.
Yeah.
It is Citizen Sleeper 2.
I know you liked that first game, yeah.
I loved that first game. And I loved the demo to this second game. It's I've talked about it on the show before, but it's like it's like a role-playing game, very narrative heavy, where you roll dice at the beginning of every day, and you use those dice to perform actions. And you live on a space station. In the first game, you are like an android built around the brain patterns of somebody who is asleep. And like that's how capitalism works now, is you can get somebody to do a job for you for several years and then wake up when it's time to retire. And you are an android that escapes. And so Citizen Sleeper 2, I think, has a similar premise, but seems to have like you're on a completely different space station. And from what I saw, you can actually fly a ship off the space station and go on missions.
Oh, cool.
And like the one mission that I went on was to like recover scrap from a junk spaceship.
That's very Space Questy to me. I'm not comparing them, but that's you saying that's very Space Questy to me.
It's very heavily written, so a lot of reading, but the writing is incredibly good. So that's Citizen Sleeper 2, and I will be playing it. I can't wait. I keep looking, being like, oh man, okay. 2 weeks. Like
you got this, Matt. I believe in you.
I can survive.
I mean, you have to
survive. Well, there's literally no other way. Yeah.
There's no other way. What are you gonna do? Rebel at this point? Bug the devs?
Give it to me. That's what I'll say. And then
don't bug the devs.
I'll be the first one banned from playing a single player game. I'll be like, no, what they'll find my ISP address, and they'll be like, that ISP is not allowed to use this game.
But they'll be like, Roses can have it though. We like her.
And I'll call you up. I'll be like, now what's happening? Read me every word.
An audio let's play.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so next I want to talk about, I think we both want to talk about this, so let's just kind of like have our little combo, but that's Mermaid Mask.
Ooh, yeah.
What is the full, why do I never remember the full, I'm just going to call it Mermaid Mask.
It's Detective Grimoire. I think it's just called the Mermaid Mask.
Okay.
Does it have a longer? No, it doesn't have a longer title.
Oh, it doesn't. Okay. So see, I'm used to adventure games having these insane long games that I can never remember. So yeah, I really liked the first Detective Grimoire. It was a little short. It was a bit easy. And then they went on to do Tangle Tower, which was quite a leap. And very ambitious, considering where they started with Detective Grimoire, which in fact started as a Flash game. And then it became a game like on Steam. And then they did Tangle Tower, which was like a feat. It was quite good. So I'm looking forward to seeing what else the devs are going to do. If they're going to pivot again, if Mermaid Mask is going to be a little different from Tangle Tower. I like the character of Detective Grimoire. Mm-hmm. And I like his not sidekick, but I guess equal, Sally.
His assistant.
Yeah.
His co-detective. Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing I liked the most, and we talked very much in depth about Tangle Tower, are those animations that we I remember, Matt, that you described one of the animations so perfectly that it stuck with me.
Okay.
And it was the character that was in the conservatory. It had like a telescope in there, and I think you described him as like this floating like wispy sheet of paper just like blowing in the wind, and it stuck with me that entire time.
I can still picture that guy.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
who I hoped you were going to talk about, because I didn't remember how I described him, but I see that guy in my head sometimes, just randomly, just waving back and
just
forth,
waving in the wind,
like one of those two men outside of a car dealership. Here's my big hope for Mermaid Mask, though. I hope they allow you. So one of the things is, as you gather evidence, sometimes Detective Grimoire will just say, "Oh, I have enough evidence to make a conclusion," and then it'll take you to a screen where you like select. You can change, verbs and objects, and then you can, and then you like insert evidence to make a sentence, to make a true sentence.
Yeah.
And I wasn't always ready.
Oh.
When those things came up. There's sometimes those things came up, and I was like, I don't know. I think I need to go review, like, talk to some people again, review my notebook, and like walk around a little more. I think I missed something that I should know.
Yeah.
And so, but you are stuck in that screen until you solve it.
Right.
So
yes.
What I hope for the Mermaid Mask is that they give you a chance to put your notebook away.
Yeah.
And come back to it. Because that was pretty much the only thing that I saw as a real flaw in Tangle Tower.
That's fair. That's totally fair. I mean, regardless, I think we're both pretty excited for the next installment.
I'm stoked. That was supposed to come out in 2024, and that got pushed. So I have high hopes that it'll come out this year, but who knows?
Yeah, same.
So you mentioned long, complicated titles of adventure games that you can never remember. Well, what I'm excited for is the infectious madness of Dr. Dekker #2.
I didn't know they were coming out with a sequel, so this is a surprise to me.
Yeah, well, they announced it last year. I think it's just the release date is just 2025. Nothing more specific than that. So it's kind of 50-50 if it comes out this year or not, Yeah, they announced it towards the end of 2024.
Okay.
So who
We'll
knows?
see.
But yeah, exactly. But it's Dekker Studios. It's another one of their FMV games. In the first Infectious Madness of Dr. Dekker, you were a it was a little hard to tell. You were like a police officer posing as a new therapist.
Yeah, like posing as
talking
a psychiatrist or something. Yeah.
Yeah, talking
Yeah.
to all of the original Dr. Dekker's patients to see who murdered him. And
Yeah.
every patient had some sort of supernatural life that was going on behind their normal life. And their normal life often was kind of fucked up too. And you're trying to like gain their trust and find clues to come to an ending. And I've loved all of the Dekker Studio most of the Dekker Studios games. I didn't love Poe and Monroe, but I loved all the other ones. And I think like I'll jump on anything that these people make. And
Yeah.
I don't know where they're going to. I don't know how Dr. Dekker warrants a sequel. But I have such confidence in the studio, like I'm excited to find out.
Yeah, I mean, I really like live acted FMV games, especially FMV mystery games. So I am curious. I would say I didn't like Dr. Dekker as much as I liked other live acted FMV games.
Sure.
But I'm still gonna play it though. I think I really like Contradiction a lot.
Yeah,
But that was
yeah.
like way more goofy. It was kind of a goofball game. But yeah, I am always down for a live acted FMV game.
Did you ever play Did you ever play Murderous Muses or the Shapeshifting Detective? Any of their other games?
No, I think I own the Shapeshifting Detective though.
Okay, yeah, maybe you want to give that a try. It's pretty good, and it's more adventure-y. You're traveling around and interviewing people at their homes and stuff.
Yeah. I'll give it a shot. Why not?
All right, fucking do it. I dare you.
All right, so the next game is, again, I don't quite know if this is coming out in 2025. I hope it is. But that's Strange Antiquities, which is the quote, sequel to Strange Horticulture, which I discovered in 2024. I loved it. I loved it so much that it got the rare video review treatment from me for the Per channel. And Strange Antiquities looks even better to me. I am so excited. I love cursed items. You can quote me on that. And like just the idea of being in an antique store, it feels very cozy. It looks very mysterious. I love the mechanic of Strange Horticulture. So I want it right now, to be honest with you.
It's your Citizen Sleeper too.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't think last time we checked, there was not a release date.
Correct.
So it could come out this year. I'm hoping that it does. So
I think it was announced. How long ago was it announced? Was it? It was sometime last year, right?
Sorry, I'm Tina eating it up from like Bob's Burgers. I don't know. I'm looking at the page and I fucking cannot tell. That's how you know I'm not AI, because I don't know what I'm doing. Just trying to see.
I don't know. I think it was announced last year, but Strange Horticulture.
You want to say that? Say it again, Matt. Say it again.
Okay. Strange Horticulture.
Oh my god.
What? I'm saying
no, that was perfect. Go on, please.
Strange Horticulture was released way back in like January of 2022. So it's they've had about 3 years to cook this one up. So I have a real I'm hopeful that Strange Antiquities will at least get a release date this year.
Yeah, I see that it was announced in May of 2024.
Oh, okay. That's plenty of time. It'll come out this year,
Yeah,
sure.
it'll come out. Narrator, it did not. It
It
did
did not.
not come
Oh
out.
my god, speaking of a game that was announced so long ago and still hasn't come out, I am looking forward to have you heard of the game Foolish Mortals?
I have heard of it, and I think because of you.
Yeah, it's been floating around for a while. I think it was kickstarted, maybe.
Okay.
Um, let me double check that.
Right. Okay. This is coming back to my memory now because it very much looks like a few other games
Yeah,
that we've spoken about. It kind of resembles an aesthetic Voodoo Detective, broke and by extension, Broken Sword. It looks really good though.
yeah, it looks interesting. It's got that, like you said, Broken Sword, Voodoo Detective, sort of very cartoony but not goofy, like
Yeah, not yeah.
just
Very
serious
pretty.
animation kind of look.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was kickstarted way back in 2022, and I think they thought the dev cycle would be a lot shorter.
Okay.
And so I think I think they've had to push back a few times, but
Okay.
the last I saw, they are dedicated to getting it out in 2024. No specific release date, or sorry, 2025. No specific release date, but it looks interesting. And I've heard interviews with these guys. What's their name? Inklingwood
Inkling.
Studios, and
Yeah.
it seems like a dude who was really passionate about adventure games.
Yeah.
Uh, and like so many people, like, oh, I'm passionate about adventure games. I want to make my own. But then when you look at the work that's been
Mhm.
done on Foolish Mortals, like, like that passion got taken really far. This is
Yeah.
a really impressively pretty looking game.
It is very
Um,
beautiful. Yeah, I agree.
oh, and it takes place in 1930s Louisiana, so that seems like a
Ooh.
really cool setting. So
All right, back to the swamp.
back to the swamp,
Very Colonel's Bequest, very Laura Bow.
right?
But yeah, I am also looking forward to that. And I also want to mention a friend of the show,
Ooh,
Meredith Gran.
oh yeah.
Yep, Perfect Tides, Station to Station, which is
Notice
obviously
how
the
I'm
sequel to
sorry to
Perfect Tides.
interrupt, but
What?
notice
Why are
how
you
I
interrupting me?
notice how I say that every time you say everything. Like every time you're like, "Oh, this game," I'm like, "Oh yeah." I can pull out clips of me. I probably did that to every single game you say. I'll try to stop. Okay.
Yeah, put a super cut of Matt just
Oh
being
yeah.
enthusiastic. Matt is full of endless enthusiasm. But yeah, Perfect Tides. I loved the first game. I feel like that game was just like made for me. It was a period piece. It was soap operatic. It was sad. It was touching. It had AOL or some kind of variant of early socialization on the internet. Instant messaging and whatnot. And yeah, I am looking more forward to Station. I think I like the aesthetic more. I think
Mm.
I like the idea of it more. And yeah, I know it's going to be a good game because Meredith Gran is a very talented writer and talented artist. And so yeah, I'm just looking forward to when it comes out.
Yeah, I have a feeling it definitely is going to come out this year.
Yeah,
I think Meredith has said as much, and I know that she is um, rounding the finish line at least close to it.
great.
But it's Mara Whitefish, a little more grown up, and what it seems to me is that it's uh the first one had a very strong story, but where it really, really thrived was in these little moments, right? And
Yeah,
the personal atmosphere of like, oh, this feels exactly to me what it felt like to
yeah,
be in these situations as a kid in the early 2000s. While this game almost seems to me like it's just going to be a story about the character of Mara Whitefish, right?
Yeah.
A little more. Again, I'm not positive, but it looks a little more plot driven to me.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited to spend time with that character and see what other really, like, that's something Meredith is just really good at, is crafting characters that are believable and yeah, I'm really, really excited for Perfect
Yeah,
Tides.
I'm very excited for it as well. I love those personable, very intimate games. So I can't wait. I was very pleasantly surprised with Perfect Tides.
Let's just dive through all of our friends games that are coming out this
Yeah,
year,
let's just do
because
it. Yeah.
because Francisco's Gonzalez Grundislav Games Rosewater
Yep,
is
yep,
coming
yep,
out
yep,
this
yep, yep.
year.
Yep.
It's a Western point and click adventure.
Is it just me, or does that guy like Westerns?
What else did he do that was a Western?
I no, I'm not saying like he has
Okay.
done Westerns. I just feel like there is
There's like a
pa
Western feel.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe. Maybe I'm like totally off. I don't know,
Well,
but
no,
like
Golden Wake was sort of, it was, 1920s in the South.
like it had something. You know what I mean? It had a Western. You know what? Just ignore me.
There's something, and that, and Lamplight City was all about partners, and how people in the
Yeah.
West like to talk about their partner.
Okay. Well, yeah. Thanks for
Um,
humoring me, Matt.
yeah, I'm just trying to find anything. um, next time we talk to Francisco, we should ask him how hard it was to draw and animate horses.
Oh God, I can't even imagine. I can't animate anything. Well, I mean I can a little bit, but I don't want to. It's hard.
Francisco does really, Grundislav does really good games,
Yeah, he
and
does.
it's just, there's no reason to think that this isn't going to be just another incredible game from him. And he seems on the verge of announcing a release date. If you follow him on the internet anywhere, he's teasing the world with the release date at this exact moment as we record. So I think
he might do it soon. You
by the time this episode's out, maybe go follow him. And do you want to talk the other friend of our friend of the show? Who's never been on the show yet, but is a friend of both of ours.
Yeah, very excited. Always excited about Wadget Eye games. They're coming out with a new game called Old Skies. I always, when I see the artwork for Old Skies, I always think about Unavowed. I'm
Me too.
It's the same artist, I think, but yeah. And I loved Unavowed. I played that entire game in one sitting, and it's not a short game. So,
right.
I was like up all night. I love Wadget Eye. I love their stories. I think this one is also. It's not a period piece. It's more like a time traveler type of a situation, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not I almost called it a period piece, but it is not. In that way, it kind of reminds me in tone to Callahan's Crosstime Saloon, which is one of my favorite adventure games of all time. It was adapted from the books by Spider Robinson. I can't wait. I love Wadget Eye.
Can I tell you something about this cover? You said it always reminds you of Unavowed.
Am I wrong?
No.
Oh, okay.
For some reason, when I saw the cover of Old Skies, I was like, I've seen this cover before.
Okay.
And I haven't, right? Like, I look at Wadget Eye's other, cover art, and it's like, oh, none of these look like it. But there's something about, like, the vibe of Old Skies, the cover of Old Skies, that you're like, wait, doesn't every Wadget Eye game have this cover? And I don't know what that is. I don't mean to offend Dave if that sounds offensive. I don't know what that is, but something about it, I was like, wait, do all their covers look exactly the same? And then you go look, it's like, they don't. Why does it feel that way?
Just that similar, like, illustrative, painterly style, I think.
Jewel tones and painterly, yeah.
Yeah.
With, like, some character in the foreground and like a
Yeah, exactly. You got it. Yeah.
I guess that's it. Because did Unavowed have a city in the background? I guess kind of.
Yeah, it did, I think.
Yes,
I'm
it
pretty
does.
sure.
It does.
Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah.
that's, I don't know.
It's
Maybe
just the
that's where it's coming
structure
from.
of it. Yeah.
All right. So what should we talk about now? Okay. I don't know if you've heard of this game. There is a game that supposedly is coming out this year. It's called Little Problems, a cozy detective game.
I was going to put that on my list and saw you already put it. So I didn't.
Really?
Yeah. So this is one of mine as well. Yeah.
It looks just like a very cute, maybe anime inspired, kind of, what do you call them?
It's like a cozy.
It's like a cozy, but also like the game that we talk about nonstop, Golden Idol.
Oh, like. Okay. Yeah. Yes. It's a very similar mechanic to Golden Idol, even closer to Duck Detective, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Because it seems like you're exploring areas. Yeah, I think Duck Detective is a much better comparison.
It looks so cute. And cute. Like like we in the Pushing Up Roses community, we love our cozies. We love cozy mystery stories. I don't know how, profound this story is going to be, but it even like kind of advertises itself as like it's not about really deep problems. Like it's not that deep, bro. It's not about murder. It's not about that. It's about kind of like these like little problems, like it says in the title, just kind of like minor things that are happening in this real world, situation. I can't wait. It looks expressive. It's very colorful. And we're already fans of that mechanic. So I don't see how this can go wrong.
Absolutely. Okay, we have a bunch more on our list, but I think what we should do is do these in a lightning round. What do you think?
Sure.
But do you want to first play some... Oh my god, I should just have it up.
Yeah, why is it not up?
I know. Do you want to play some Yankee Colorino?
Yeah, I do.
And then come back and jump through some of our other most anticipated blah, blah, blah.
Good job, Matt. Hey everyone, welcome back to Save Your Game. I'm Pushing Up Roses. This is my co-host, Matt Aucamp, and we are talking about our most anticipated games of 2025.
Hell yeah. And we have
go.
We have a bunch more, but why don't we just do it in lightning round? Okay.
Okay, got it.
So, first, Pony Island 2, Panda Circus. I don't know what it's going to be. It is the sequel to Pony Island, and it is by the guy who did one of my favorite games, which is Inscryption.
Oh, yeah.
I've played, at this point, I've played all his games. I don't know if it's coming out in 2022, but it's whatever it is going to be, it's going to be fucking weird. So I'm into it.
Love it. Okay, next. Baby Steps. I don't know. It looks fucking weird. I can't not look
really
at it.
Really weird, dude.
I cannot tell if it's like a co-op situation where you're like literally trying to get your detective that's where my brain's at. Yeah. Your character to do stuff. It's so wild looking to me that I have to play it. I have to. What is this?
I think it is like a co-op, but it is like it's 3D over the shoulder, right. or like behind,
and it's like narrative. There's like things going on in it's so strange.
I mean, one of the developers is Bennett Foddy, who did Getting Over It. So
okay. But yeah, I saw the trailer and I'm like, what? Yeah, and now I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, Duck Detective: Ghost of Glamping, a sequel to Duck Detective. What the hell, man? That they're coming out with another one this quick.
I know. Give it to me now.
I know. I'm really into it. And I was put off a little bit by the name, but then I was like, well, wait, the first name is also absurd and
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I mean, come on, Matt. We're used to these games by now.
Yeah, yeah. So that it just says 2025. No idea when it's coming out. All right, you got another one?
I do not, but I just want to say that I see one on yours
Okay.
that I'm like, what? There's another Broken Sword game coming out though? What?
There is. It's
Man, they
called.
do
I
not stop
don't.
making those.
I know. I know. Every time you think that they're gone, it doesn't have a release date also either. So I'm
Oh,
not sure that it's coming out in 2025, but it'd be cool if it did. It's like I guess it's 3D, and I think you return to Paris.
okay.
So I don't know. It's called
3D?
Yes, it's called Broken Sword Parzival's Stone. 3D, but in the way that but not in the way that the other ones were 3D with like tank controls and box puzzles. It's like
Right.
3D, but really based in the maybe like 2.5D even,
Okay.
based in like static backgrounds. It looks like, and based in on the art style of the originals.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. It looks
Um
good, but I don't know. They've let us down before.
I also see that you were going to mention The Drifter.
Okay. Yeah.
That game looks gorgeous. What
Yeah.
the heck? It looks gorgeous.
It
Like,
looks
man,
so good.
if you like kind of those old school adventure games that you want more of an evolution, more of a modern take, I think this game is for you. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. What the heck? It's so pretty.
It's and I don't know what to expect from this game. All I know is it looks beautiful.
Yeah,
Like that's
same.
that's all I know about it. And it also doesn't have a release date, but I think maybe I have some inside info that we're not going to have to wait too long.
Ooh, okay, cool.
So
Yeah,
I'm not positive, but I think so.
yeah, The Drifter does one of those things where it's almost kind of Gabriel Knight-esque, where
Mhm.
you are in an open world, but every now and then you have these little cutaways in rooms, which really adds to just this insane dark
Yeah,
atmosphere. Yeah, it looks super cool.
looks good.
Yeah.
Uh my other I'll just go through my other two very quickly because they're not strictly adventure games, but they are two games that I'm looking forward to, and they're both supposed to come out this year. So one is Subnautica 2. Did you ever play Subnautica?
I did not. No.
It's like this first person underwater exploration survival game. So
Oh no, it sounds stressful.
you're dropped onto an alien planet, and you have to basically uh find resources and build yourself a base so you can breathe in the water. And from there you upgrade your stuff, and what you're trying to do is eventually keep upgrading and keep exploring until you have enough stuff to build a rocket ship to shoot you back off the planet that you fell onto.
What?
So I don't know I know. It rules, and it's so beautiful. And Subnautica 2 is supposed to come out this year, and it's supposed to have co-op online play. So
Oh,
like that
cool.
rules. There was a game kind of in the middle that felt more like DLC, but it was its own game. It was called like the Frozen something.
Mhm.
um Below Zero, Subnautica Below Zero. And it wasn't as great. They focused a lot on like land travel. And it's like,
Mhm.
well, why am I gonna play this underwater game if I just have
Right.
to ride around in like a
Right.
snow buggy all the time? But I'm still really looking forward to Subnautica 2. And lastly, there is a there is a slight chance we might get codes for this.
Okay.
Which would rule, but I'm not holding my breath. It's
Okay.
called Atomfall. And it's by a game company called Rebellion, who I guess did the like Sniper Elite
Okay.
games and the Evil Genius games.
Oh,
Um,
shit. Those are like Evil Genius is like cult classic.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so it is their take on like it's often billed or like described by people by people waiting for it as like a British Fallout.
Okay, interesting.
So I think you're in a after like a nuclear disaster that happened in England, and you're kind of like traveling the wasteland, like first person survival scroungy style. I don't know that you I don't know that it seems like you probably have guns. I don't know. I'm imagining just like a very British Fallout.
Well, are there British accents? Because if there is, I'm in.
Yeah, there are.
Are there cute British men?
I mean, they're all fictional, but maybe.
Sarah, they are fictional now.
If you're going to, I mean, if you're gonna make a whole world full of fake guys, aka a video game, you're gonna make some of them hot.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the accent alone kind of does it for me. So, I'm gonna play it.
Yeah, I think it looks good. I hope that it's not like. I don't think it's multi. I think it's a single player game. That's my only fear is if they're like, and it has online multiplayer, always online, kind of like Rust or one of those like like horrible survival games. Then I'd be like, all right, maybe not. But if it is what it looks like, a different company's take on the Fallout formula and only British, I'm fucking in. Oh, that's out in March, end of March. So
okay, that's coming up real soon then.
Yeah.
Sweet. All
that's
right.
called Adamfall. And I think that's all. Do you have any like just like long term like, oh, I know there's going to be a sequel to this game and I can't wait?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, I'm very much still looking forward to the Fields of Mysteria updates.
Oh yeah.
It'd be even better. Oh my god. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Stop it, Matt. What are you doing?
It's Matt's new catchphrase.
I hate it.
There's gonna be a cartoon incoming that I will draw of Matt doing his catchphrase. Yeah, I mean, even better if the whole game was like done and released. But yeah, that's more of a long term. Like I'm just looking forward to anything. But it's, again, we've talked about it, and it's hard with Fields of Mysteria because sometimes they only give out like a shorter update, and you maybe don't want to play that update. You want to wait until the whole thing comes out. Like, I don't know, I just miss it so much.
Yeah.
I was romancing someone, and he doesn't even like me yet.
He'll like you. Don't worry, he'll like you. He'll like
Matt.
you.
Thanks, Matt. Thank you.
Do you want to do before we get out of here, do you want to do a quick read down of all the games we talked about in case somebody wants to be writing them down?
I hope someone is writing them down. I hope that there is a classic adventure gamer with a notepad writing this down and making it look like a maze and like sewers and stuff, because that's what it's all about. Okay, so these are all the games we mentioned that we are looking forward to. We've got Cabernet, Citizen Sleeper 2, Mermaid Mask, Strange Antiquities, Perfect Tide, Station to Station, Old Skies, Rosewater, The Infectious Madness of Dr. Dekker 2. Oh, I hate saying that. Foolish Mortals. Little Problems, a cozy detective game. The MS Cornelia II Incident. Obsession, which is already out. Pony Island 2, Panda Circus. I also don't like saying that very much. The Drifter, Baby Steps, Duck Detective, Ghost of Glamping, Broken Sword, Parsival Stone. What are these? Subnautica. Subnautica 2.
Games named this way. Okay,
I don't know. They're getting more and more unhinged as we go. Subnautica 2 and Adamfall. Those are all the games that we are currently looking forward to.
I think this is going to be a good year for video games, and it's going to be like, it's kind of hard to top last year, but I have hope.
Here's a question.
What's up?
Do you think there's going to be any surprise games?
Oh, definitely. I mean,
and is it going to be Grim Fandango 2? It's not. Don't nobody quote me on that, because it's not.
This isn't even all the games I have on my like Steam wish list that are set to release, and these are just the ones that I am most excited about.
Yeah.
I mean, even already, Roottrees are Dead came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And there's no way that we get through this year without just something wild. That
it would be like so great though if there was another terrible toy box game.
Oh my god! Wow, yeah. It's been a while, huh?
Yeah, it has. It really has. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it, because time. What the fuck is that? It seems like Return to Monkey Island just came out yesterday. It really does. But
it's almost 3 years.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Holy cow.
I think it might have been. Is it over 3 years? Holy cow! But
I think it's under 3
nice,
years,
though?
but it's. Yeah, I think it was September of 2022. So yeah.
Okay.
But you know how apparently they like to do, which is just randomly surprise us with the new game. They did that with the mini event, Dolores, the Thimbleweed Park mini adventure too, right? Wasn't that just
I think they did, yeah.
No one, they didn't announce it and they just released it, and then they're like, oh, hey, by the way.
So, which I think is amazing. Like, how do you sit on, especially with something like Monkey Island, how do you sit on that information? How did it not leak?
Right. And
amazing.
So we can't expect them to always do it.
No, I know.
But it'd be so cool if they did. Oh,
but it'd be cool.
I think we might be getting another game from the Ben and Dan guys.
Nice.
What's their? I don't remember their company. They're
it's just Ben and Dan to me.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Ben and Dan Company.
Ben and Dan Company.
Size 5 Games.
I'm never gonna remember that. It's Ben and Dan.
And if they are listening, earmuffs, but in the past when we said we couldn't remember it and that we'll never remember it. We love your games.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think they have a new they have a new game that's at least in the works. So
nice. But, oh, I'm so excited! I'm so inspired. Oh, I'm
so inspired now. Now I'm inspired.
What should we do?
A game. Let's make a game right
what?
now.
No.
Okay. Let's head into the podcast then.
Okay. Well, that's not very inspiring at all. Let's go back to making the game.
Okay, we'll make a game. What do you want the game to be about? The Adventures of Hanson Swanson and his AI crowd sourcing solutions.
Yeah. Getting solutions to invented problems. That's part of the title. Don't worry, guys. We're working on it right now.
Oh my god, it's like, okay, a point and click game where you not only have to solve the puzzles, you first have to make them. You have to
make the problem, yeah.
You have to make the problem and then solve it.
I love it. We're geniuses. We're
geniuses. This will be, and you know what? It'll be easy. If the only thing you need is the idea, and we have the idea. After that, the rest of it is easy. So
yeah, it just falls right in your lap.
Yeah, expect a new game. Yeah, probably like next week or something.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're good at this. We're experts. I mean, you know why?
Yeah,
because podcast is art.
And artists suffer, but also we're a part of the Adventure Game Hotspot Network, and you can find us on Instagram.
And email us. Okay, bye.
Email us at madresses@gmail.com. Bye.